Hello, everyone. Welcome to another season of Sasa's Archeo Gaming Live. This summer, we're featuring Sasa gamer Julie Levy with special guests each week. They will be playing through the two Legend of Zelda games, Breath of the Wild, and the newest game, Tears of the Kingdom. What is SASA? SASA stands for Save Ancient Studies Alliance. It is their mission to reverse the current downward trend in the study of the ancient world by engaging the public and bringing together students and scholars to share their passion for the study of the ancient world in order to inspire a vast new generation of students. We do this in many ways, like these live streams, other live streams like book clubs and master classes. We have private reading groups going on over the summer, so RSVP at our events page. We also do research on the downward trend, have a virtual conference in July, have an open access database that is searchable, and much more. Where to find SASA? You can search Save Ancient Studies Alliance. We mainly post on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We stream on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, and we have a TikTok account. Archeo gaming streams are only streamed on Twitch, but will be saved on YouTube later. Some protocol for the event. Please be kind and respectful. Listen and ask thoughtful questions throughout the event. Please be patient with technology and those administering it. We try very hard to be organized, but inevitably there are some blips. These, again, live events are streamed on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, and will be saved on those platforms. Archeo Gaming is only streamed on Twitch. And, of course, there are spoiler alerts for these games. You can subscribe on Twitch. You can enjoy SASA's live events such as Archeo Gaming book clubs, reading groups. Please consider to support SASA with a recurring monthly donation. For as little as $3 a month, you can help us save ancient studies. You can also subscribe on Twitch for free through your Amazon account. And with that, thank you for joining us and have fun.
All right. Hello and welcome to the Sasa Archeo gaming stream. Welcome back if you've joined us before. I'm Julie Levy. I am the program coordinator and also the gamer of the summer for the live streams. And this is Adam Bierstedt of Ludohistory. Adam, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hello, hello. First, thank you so much for having me on, Julie. To anyone who doesn't know me, my name's Adam. I run the Twitch stream and occasional video essay project, Ludohistory, which it's kind of, I guess, the partner to what you folks do here on Sasa, where you focus on archeo gaming. I focus on the more historical textual side of things. My academic training is on environmental history, medieval Scandinavia, and historical and cultural reception. And so we kind of bring all of that to a huge array of historical games. Right now, in particular, Assassin's Creed Black Flag over on my channel.
Yeah. So hello to those in chat. Hello, Argranok. Feel free to chime in, ask any questions. It's lovely to have you. And for the record, this stream will go up in its entirety. It will be up on our Twitch channel and later on our YouTube channel, so you can watch it later. Hi, Colin. So I have not played any of this game yet, although I have played through its former game, Breath of the Wild, several times now. I'm
Yep,
very excited.
and I am the opposite. I have not actually played a ton of Breath of the Wild, but I am about 75% of the way through on my own file of Tears of the Kingdom right now.
The first thing I wanted to talk about is just this amazing
It
carving, this
rules, doesn't
frieze.
it?
It
Uh,
it's so interesting. Like I keep comparing it to the sort of tapestry they have in Breath of the Wild. I don't know if you've seen that.
yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
like it's got a lot of similar aspects, but the underlying style is very different.
Yeah, and they'll get into it within the first couple minutes of the game here. But basically, right, this is supposed to be like several iterations of predecessor to the Sheikah and to that supposedly absurdly ancient tapestry. Uh, and so
10,000-year-old tapestry, or sorry,
exactly,
10,100 years.
and this is like literally countless generations before that.
Yeah, like
So,
this, and
like,
this stone carving. There's no way.
no decay whatsoever. It's in perfect condition.
Yeah.
We love to see it.
Uh huh. It must be stored in an airless room. Uh,
Yep.
Hi for this, dude. Sorry about the Discord pings. That's actually a function of how OBS handles the tech. I'm very sorry. I can't stop that. I have
Hmm.
tried a couple of different ways and it just won't.
Yep.
But hopefully it will be minimal. But yeah, like you can see here, the very characteristic of these two games style of the moblins and bokoblins. Um, these figures that are pretty clearly Hylians and these figures that are pretty clearly not, that I don't know anything about. And
Yeah.
then those shapes, the sort of like spiky ones, they almost look like they might be dragons or something.
Hmm.
But like in terms of the real world, what this reminds me of more than anything is like Central American carvings.
Yeah. That is a very good instinct. I think we should just hop into it because all of
Yeah.
that is going to get confirmed and explained by Zelda extremely quickly.
Oh, well, good news.
Yes.
Mesoamerican, yeah. All right, let's go. Let's find out.
Let's find out. Also, you're going to love this opening. To anyone who is just like this is their first time seeing it, if you thought Breath of the Wild is obsessed with archaeology and with representations of both recent and deep past, oh, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Oh, I'm so excited.
It's so good. I've got one thing pulled up on my file that if we have time I can just gush about
Oh my
for
gosh, yeah.
only 30 minutes. But I think I want to get into the game a decent bit first.
Can I just say how much I love this Zelda, though? I love it.
This is this is like top 3 Zelda.
Who's your top Zelda pick?
See, I'm a sucker for Skyward Sword Zelda. She's got so much sass all the time.
She's very charming. She's very
Uh,
charming.
For a while now.
But I mean,
These tunnels are
I mean, and as much as Twilight Princess Zelda is a non-character, I do dearly love, like, that's just peak Zelda design.
Yeah, yeah, true.
Like, Twilight Princess is my favorite Zelda game,
Guess we're going this
and
way.
I love that just slightly more grounded design, and the, I guess, more elaborated medieval fantasy over what we usually see in Zelda games. So,
Whoa, look at these shadows. What are they
yeah.
doing? I'm so excited. But I just love researcher Zelda. I can't get enough of her.
Oh yeah, no, I adore this version of Zelda, and like I love that
new.
this Zelda and this Link actually have a like just
Drifting through these caverns.
really solid relationship
Here it seems almost
in the first place, and Link is just
from us.
Short King fully supporting Zelda in everything she does.
Coming up from beneath Hyrule Castle.
We've got to vote for Ocarina of Time Zelda,
We do not know what
which I
lies
actually have
beyond,
not
so we need
played,
to be ready for anything.
oddly
Oh
enough.
man,
I know.
I know I'll be okay with you, Link.
it is.
Let's go solve this mystery.
You know, there's
Let's
always
go
times when
solve
I'm
this
mad.
mystery. Oh my gosh, I love her so
I
much.
know.
Yeah, Skyward Sword plays much better if you have a better controller. Like the big problem people had with it was that their Wiimotes or whatever did not have an upgraded gyroscope.
Yep.
Not the only problem with it, but that was one of
It
the
was
biggest ones.
Yeah, I've heard mixed things about the Switch port of it. Like,
Yeah, it's all right.
if it
It's
works,
not as pretty. Like
oh,
the graphics did not get the update they needed to still look watercolory and smooth.
that's tragic because
Yeah.
that's
That's
like
really
its
the best
defining
part of the
aesthetic
game.
thing. Yeah, and the whip. The whip is just a really good item, and I'm a big fan of it.
I'm a big fan of flying, actually. I really liked flying with the Wiimote. That was very
Yeah,
intuitive and fun.
exactly. When that game worked, it worked super well. But sadly, it just didn't. It has not held up super well, except the soundtrack. The soundtrack in that game just rules.
Ooh, we're getting the fee noise.
Yeah, we are. Skyward Sword is canon? Question mark.
I mean, it's totally canon. Didn't you see the or the Forgotten Temple?
Uh huh. This game has a super strange relationship with like the canon of previous Zelda games because this is like gonna hard like retcon a good chunk of the origin question mark of Hyrule.
That sounds intriguing. So it's like
Uh,
pre the goddesses?
We'll
Oh, you
get to
can't
it
hear
real
the
fast.
audio. That's interesting. Good to know. I'm sorry about that. So you can't hear the audio at all. Hold on a moment. Let me see if I can fix that. Well, does canon actually mean anything in Zelda?
Huh.
There is an official timeline. I will
There
say
is an
that.
official
It's
timeline,
not
but the
very
official
good, but it
timeline
exists.
is exactly it's bad, so I've elected to ignore it.
Ooh, hello. What are these obelisks? I am so intrigued. This is
Yup,
random and weird.
yup.
What's Zelda looking at? Tell me about it.
Uh,
Can you hear it now? A little. Okay. How unusual. Yep. Okay, that's what I had figured from the Zonai. We get the Zonai ruins.
mhm.
Oh gosh. Oh my.
uh,
Yeah. British Museum. Mm-mm. Nah.
oh boy.
Not good.
Why do they keep owning themselves this much?
It's really quite impressive.
Isn't it? It's almost remarkable how consistently big museum administrators have completely unforced goals on just about everything.
It's it's really sad. But okay, so the Zonai, for those who didn't see the first game, the Zonai ruins were sort of Mesoamerican style. They were
Mhm.
mostly found in even older bits of the upstairs, I guess, from here, and they did a lot of dragons,
Yeah,
which
they
I
did.
have heard might be relevant.
Just a bit.
Wah. Stop telling me to swing my sword. Okay. Zelda wants to examine everything. We
To be
stand an
fair, we
archaeologist
also
queen.
exactly.
Time of
Also, having that high resolution field camera.
better than a trowel,
True.
says the person who doesn't actually go on digs. Sorry to my
Um,
archaeology friends.
agrees the other person who doesn't actually go on digs.
I have a bunch of friends who just got back from digs or are going on one next month, and I'm sure they all
Yep.
just went, oh, how dare!
How dare! I know. Same. I know. One of our mutual
Civilization in the
friends.
sky. I wonder what that was all about. Sorry.
Yep. Skyward Sword Cannon. Wait.
What I want to know is how that connects to the terrifying chicken people in Twilight Princess. What the heck are those?
Don't worry about it. I could not tell you even if I wanted to. I think it's for the best we just acknowledge they existed and then move on as quickly as possible.
What? Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
These are exciting.
Mm-hmm.
They, yeah, do not look like Hylians at all.
Yeah.
I don't think they were.
Yep. They do, however, sure look like the people in that mural, huh?
Alright, let's go. Hey, bats. Oh, that gets us a cutscene. It's just some
You're not
bats.
hurt, are
Yep.
you, Link?
Sorry, keys.
Look at these murals.
This
little
cutscene,
histories of the
and
royal
actually a
family
thing Zelda mentioned
include
just a
stories of a
smidge
great
earlier
war
about, right, there's
fought
all
long
these
ago.
history books that tell us that
was a
Hyrule started
conflict
with the
between
Zonai,
allied tribes,
and I'm like, I want to
and
read those
someone
history
only
books, I want
ever
to see what they
referred
actually,
to as the
like,
Demon
given
King.
that there is incredibly scant material evidence for them in Breath
Is
of
it
the Wild,
possible? Do these murals depict the same
what are
legend?
any of these books and academics and people actually saying? And how is that related to, like, what gets mentioned as,
This
like,
is
a royal
similar to the
chronicle
statues we
tradition?
saw earlier. A Zonai.
Yeah, like that was one of the
And
things
these
I was
figures
talking
look
about
like
when I went
Hylians.
into the castle on stream
This
last
depiction
time.
certainly suggests that the Zonai descended
Because
from the
it's like
heavens.
there are only 2 books you can read in there. They're both cookbooks.
Exactly. And half of Zelda's field notes.
It is said that my
Yes.
ancestors, the first of Hyrule's royal family,
Oh, do you want to ask how
were
far into
through a
spoiler
union with
territory?
gods who had descended
No
from the
story
heavens.
spoilers. Um, but we will be talking,
These murals tell a similar
at least
story.
bringing up stuff
And if
from
they
a
are
little bit
accurate,
later in the
then the
game,
gods
in just
mentioned were
like,
the Zonai.
oh yeah, you know, the fact that there are
They
cool
must have
ruins in
forged a
Kakariko
relationship
Village
with the
now
Hylians
is
at
not
that
really a
time,
spoiler, it's just
working
a
together
thing you
to
can see from
establish
the top of the map.
the kingdom of Hyrule.
So, keep it more on that level rather than
This
going
figure,
for big
he
story
seems to
spoilers.
be stealing something of incredible power from the young kingdom. This all aligns with what I've read during my studies.
Yeah, that
And
is
then
definitely
it
an
shows the
interpretation.
Demon King
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't have known that was
and a
just
fierce
stealing.
battle against him.
No.
If the creature depicted here really does represent the Demon King, then... Oh. Incredible!
It is incredible. It's super cool.
This mural must be the Great War recorded in the royal histories.
I fully appreciate how excited Zelda is. But yeah,
This
so there are
is
apparently
the
official
impending
royal
war,
histories
and the
that
events
go
that led up
back
to it.
10,000 years.
Link, this is a huge discovery.
And while I love a good medieval chronicle, that go back, 5,500 years.
All right then. Now to use this invention of Pura's. I'm glad
I don't
didn't leave it
trust a
behind.
medieval chronicle.
No.
And
easy to
so,
record.
It's probably
this
basically
idea-
Masuda, which, for those who don't know, is the most hilarious thing.
Looks like the
It's
rest of the murals are obscured.
I want to say it was Byzantine, was it? Is an encyclopedia.
I think
it
so,
took
yeah.
literally
Just what
every
is this
piece of
place?
evidence as pure fact, like down to
Maybe
comedy
we'll find more answers further
Mm-hmm.
ahead.
and rumor.
Exactly.
Let's
And
keep moving deeper.
right, most medieval chronicles I've worked with take the first, 4,000 years of quote-unquote human history as just, what does the Book of Genesis say happened? Yep, that's right.
Yeah.
Let's run some numbers, and we'll know the exact year in which Methuselah
Where are
died
my
at the age of
bombs?
912.
Don't have my bombs. I want to blow this up.
Yup.
Can't let Zelda go in here ahead of me. That's disturbing. Go away. I don't like you.
That is both fair and understandable.
I'm a little worried at like all of the blast damage that's been done here.
Yeah, this is a bit of that good quality Heinrich Schliemann style archaeology, isn't it?
Ah! You said the magic words, the
I
ones I
did say
hate
the
so
magic
much.
words. We make fun of him all the time.
Ooh.
Look,
Now
in
that's a
this case
heckin'
though,
guidance stone.
yeah, it is.
No, I'm sorry. The Discord sounds are me. I can't turn them off. I'm sorry. Alright. Show me the thing.
What is that?
You, who's excited?
Oh, that's totally the Demon King.
Who's excited for dehydrated Matthew Mercer?
Ooh. Guess that's a tear. Ooh. Oh, those. So this is a cool Japanese thing. That particular shape that they're using for the what I assume are the tears.
Yes.
Sorry. There's a broken one on its crown.
Uh-huh.
Broke the Master Sword.
Broke the Master Sword.
Was that the sword that seals the darkness? The blade that shatters so easily against my power cannot save you from me. Zelda. You who carries that fragile sword. A link. Rauru placed his faith in you.
Rauru.
And that was all you could do.
How do you know our names?
Such a strong opening.
It's so good. Oh my goodness, I love it.
I mean, Hyrule is just the unluckiest freaking place on the planet.
Well, how do we know? We've never been anywhere.
Apparently. But I mean, like, it has been not even 5 years since Ganondorf did stuff, and now we've got Ganondorf doing stuff.
Last time it was Calamity Ganon. Is that the same as Ganondorf?
I mean, technically no, but this is this universe's actual version of Ganondorf. And apparently no one, these are two completely distinct entities, despite, you know,
Yeah.
having distressingly similar names.
And powers.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure that'll be
That.
fine.
Yep. No consequences will happen.
Ganonashery. I know what I was saying before about the tear shape. That's actually a Shinto symbol, a Japanese charm. It's said to be a holy shape, the shape of Amaterasu's necklace, and it's used as a good luck charm. You can collect them in Skyward Sword. They're one of the collectible crafting items, both dark ones and light ones, in different places.
Yeah, and obviously they're super important in this game. But I think you have a lot of resonances with that kind of folkloric use of that these are recreations of things by a goddess. Uh, and so it just ends up being obviously important, but also I think gives a lot of good character moments as we start seeing those throughout the game.
Hey, Link woke up. That didn't
Amazing.
happen at the beginning of the game. That's a new one.
True.
Gosh, that has to be real creepy. You wake up and your hand isn't your own anymore.
Finally,
Yup.
you wake.
And then your hand talks at you.
I've heard a great deal about you from Zelda.
And you are...
Your wounds were severe. I am relieved to see you escape death. Your
Give him
arm,
a minute.
however,
He doesn't
was
have any
beyond
hands to
saving.
equip.
I had to replace it, lest
Exactly.
the injury endanger you further.
Wait, replace it? I assumed that was just like some kind of binding glove.
Nope.
He's a cyborg! I know, I want to hang out with a cool archaeology nerd too.
Yep.
That's exactly my problem. So
Luckily,
root.
I have very good news, and that there is an entire kingdom that is like 80% archaeology nerds by population. So we're in good. We'll still be in good company.
In which case, okay, I want to move to Hyrule now, please.
True. The every 5 years end of the world event is worth it.
Okay. So we've got the shards of Narsil here.
Mm-hmm.
And anything else of note in here? Probably not. Well, this is a sort of familiar looking setup, right? It's not too
Yep.
different from the Shrine of Resurrection. Except instead of a Sheikah Slate, we have our creepy hand.
Exactly. Which definitely better. Yep. Also, we do have the same type of glyphs on the circle as what we saw on the obelisks earlier. The very square, but clearly some sort of logographic script, like those ones.
Yeah.
And so yeah, this whole thing is
Look at these sun motifs, though.
yeah.
I just love it. Can we climb on those gears? Probably not. Not usefully, anyway. Ooh, there's stuff growing down here. That seemed a little unnecessary. Okay, not gonna argue. Look, we have to climb, just like getting out of the Shrine of Resurrection.
Exactly. Gotta get our basic movement. Must be hard to be a historian in Hyrule. You have to differentiate between God knows how many people all named Zelda, Link, and Ganon. I have great news for you, and it is the thing I have pulled up. It's the thing I have pulled up here.
Oh, I'm so excited. Tell me about it.
So, not only is there Zonite, or Zonai riding throughout the game on a whole bunch of things, and if you interact with it, it's going to say, it's written in Zonite, you can't make out a word of it. Because there's, one person in all of Hyrule, besides Zelda, who can actually read Zonite. But there's also Ancient Hyrulean. You also can't read Ancient Hyrulean. But there's someone else who can.
Hey, look! Some pants to equip. They don't really look
Oh,
like
good.
pants.
Well, look, it's old, and therefore, someone
Oh my
already
gosh!
mentioned it.
They look like
But
the Greek sandals.
they are.
Oh my gosh, look at this chest, though. It's a little guy with a mouth.
It's a little guy.
And a nose ring. Shaped like the Sheikah eye, but without the knowledge droplet.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a shirt somewhere, please? Can I
It's up ahead.
Okay. Herb!
But yeah, the Ancient Hyrulean. If you take it to the one guy who knows Ancient Hyrulean,
In
he
the
will...
sky.
Yes.
Oh
We
my
are
gosh.
way in the sky.
Look at these tiles. Is that paint?
Yeah.
Is that gold? Is it moss? I wish
I think
could...
I think you're correct that that's pigment. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
Uh-huh. I just think when this place was like maintained and not in a ruined state. Like that's a lot of splendor.
Holy moly. Can I do
And-
anything here? No. Okay.
You can get the opening title splash, which is just incredible. It's
Dragons.
so this place.
I cannot tell you how much I love the dragons. And this
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, there's so much good stuff with this. Right. Obviously, a Civilization of the Sky has a big focus on flying, right?
Right.
And so like there's multiple optional dungeons
Oh, thank
that
goodness
the
I
entire
killed Tetsu
puzzle.
there. Sorry.
But yeah, the entire puzzle is you have to get up into the sky where there's a constant strong updraft, and you have to navigate a labyrinth by skydiving through the labyrinth. It's so good.
Oh, the giant lily pads from Skyward Sword came back.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if you can turn them over the way you could there.
Sadly, I don't think so. I think they're just places to make sure you don't drown.
Well, I appreciate not drowning, so... Oh hey, it turns out those pine cones were lights all along.
Yup.
I want my camera. I'm one of those people who like had to fill out the compendium, like it was
Oh, God.
compulsory.
It's like twice as long in this game as it was in Breath of the Wild.
I have a tree branch. It's stronger than my shards of Narsil. That's very sad.
Yup, the Master Sword's not having a good day.
Ooh, sky shrooms. Question mark? Ah!
And another little guy.
I guess I need a tree branch. It has a tree branch. Look at this robot. Oh my
Yeah.
god, why is there a robot? Why don't I get
Why
to
is there
keep
not
him?
a robot?
Soldier construct. This is reminding me, like somebody said, Studio Ghibli, and like this is reminding me so much of Castle in the Sky.
Yeah.
The little robots.
It's such a good
Herb.
aesthetic combination. And just a better one.
Is there a history behind the idea of ancient technology? There absolutely is, and I have to say it is not a great one.
It's not my favorite history in the world, but you know, I mean, there's ideas of like ancient and or in some way larger than life people in traditions as old as literally the Epic of Gilgamesh. But I think in this particular case, largely what we should think about is the inheritance of Rome. Also, little guys. Right, intertwined several things, but the first one being, right, Petrarch and late medieval ideas of Rome as a good time, and everything else as a time of decline in between Rome and some glorious future. The other one, I think, is a history of colonialism, which when we look at, the obviously Mesoamerican, just a guy for the Stewart construct, right, is Spanish colonizers looking at Maya ruins, Maya and Nahuatl sites, and looking at that and going, oh yes, obviously the current people here couldn't have done that despite them living in the space
Yeah.
and maintaining the sites. They still act like, oh yeah, clearly these giant pyramids couldn't have possibly be done by these people because these people weren't sophisticated, read European, enough to do that. And so that gets said in the 16th century and spins in conspiracy theory territory in the 19th century.
Yeah, somebody here mentioned Eric von Daniken, the guy who started one of the more popular Ancient Aliens crazes. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Ancient Aliens has always been pretty racist as a concept, which, yes, he just got a Switch, just like he did in Breath of the Wild, which was actually a Wii U, because that game was built
exactly.
for the Wii U, and then they were like, no, but now we have a Switch, we can't make it work like that anymore. So
Exactly.
that's why you couldn't use, even on the Wii U version of Breath of the Wild, you weren't allowed to use the Wii U as it was obviously intended as a Sheikah Slate.
Yep.
But yeah, so Ancient Aliens has traditionally been used to discredit non-white people's achievements, particularly in Mesoamerica, in Africa,
Hmm.
sometimes in East Asia.
Yeah.
And it gets very sticky, and a lot of people like to tie it to things like Atlantis too, which is
Hmm.
another thing which has been made into this weird racist nonsense. Like, Atlantis did not exist. You know how we know it did not exist? Because Plato, when
Plato
he's writing about
says
it, says that he's
it.
making it up.
It really shouldn't be controversial, should it be? Right?
No, but it's a big
Plato,
deal.
I'm inventing this whole dialogue as an allegory.
Oh, the
Also
Garden
Plato.
of Time. Ooh. As opposed to the Temple of Time. I like that
Yeah,
concept. I like
yeah.
how this is a person made of people and dragons, like in
Yes.
design.
It's so fun.
There's so many like dragon faces on this little guy.
Yep. And I mean, it's so transparently inspired by, speaking of the British Museum earlier, right? It's so clearly the serpent mosaic that's in their collection from the later, like, post-classical Aztec period, which with the turquoise and the conch shell serpent mouth. It's
Oh yeah, I've seen pictures of that.
it's so clearly. I can actually hopefully drop the collection link in chat there. Yeah, that one. And right, it's just incredibly transparent to me that they looked at some Maya and Nahuatl codices for like the earring design and all that stuff, and looked at these sort of very high status turquoise and conch shell draconic motifs as like a key feature of how they want this incredibly ancient culture to look.
They're using Maya architectural stuff.
Yeah, they are.
So the Maya would build things by would like fix stones together by carving out places for rods to go, and they would make the rods of other stones so that they would connect together in just that way, so that they couldn't be broken apart by time, and that's why so many Maya things are still standing. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, that's so cool!
Like
so
the
excited!
genuine. Exactly, and I mean you can see the Temple of Time off in the distance, as the giant inverted pyramid.
Oh wow.
Uh,
That is.
so you do get not quite like the full stepped pyramid shape that we like to associate with Mesoamerican temple structures, but you do get something that is clearly referencing that, but since it's in the sky, instead of pointing up, it's pointing down.
Which is actually pretty interesting. I must protect myself, something said. Hello, other steward. I am, in fact, new here. Yeah, I noticed that. Am I a trespasser?
Well, you're not Zonai, so
There's that. Unsolicited advice.
these guys all are delightful.
They're so cute, too. Like, I wouldn't have expected that. Somehow these designs, made up of dragons and functioning as high-tech robots floating in the sky, are cute.
And when I turned one of them down for a side quest, he kind of slumped and said, "I am bitterly disappointed by this news," and then I felt bad.
Oh, that's cute.
They're so good.
Look at these pots, too. They're completely different from the pots you see down on the ground.
Yeah.
And they have pigment, too. It's the same kind of pigment, that gold color.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's an interesting thing in Maya. I'm sorry, I just blanked on the word I wanted. Symbolism. There we go. Don't ask me how I lost that word. I blame it on the ADHD. But there's an interesting thing in Maya symbolism. You see that like tiered step as like a four-sided object, like a diamond. I was told, this is not my field, so like, you know, if I get things wrong, I'm very sorry, but I was told by somebody that I had reason to believe that, you know, that is one thing I had not thought to try. Let me see if I can do that. Switching my Discord status to Do Not Disturb.
That might actually help.
Let me see if that will work. Come on, where's the thingy? It always has like 8 million. There we go. Do not disturb. Hopefully that changes it. Thank you very much for the suggestion. Discord always has a million ways to do everything,
Oh,
and I'm not always...
also my camera looks like my camera
Oh
has now gotten
no!
bored.
Oh no, your
Oh boy.
camera's gotten messed up. Did I fix it? Yes, I did. Okay. Good deal.
Fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you for the tip. There's always a million ways to do things on Discord, and I don't always know what they are.
True.
Okay. Ooh, look, snowy areas in the sky. Why is it not cold here? I'm confused by this. Anyway,
Well, that's obvious. We've gone closer to the sun, and therefore it's warmer, except for the places it's not. This is clearly how environment works.
But yeah, so I was told by someone who I had reason to believe that that four-sided symbol actually represents the cycle of death and rebirth in Maya culture. That it is not just, you start out birth and down to death, but then in the underworld you also go below and then come back. So I think this inverted pyramid is actually pretty on point. Yes, that was a pun.
Yep, I wasn't gonna be the one to acknowledge it. I have to deal with enough puns in my own Discord community. We're not about to acknowledge it on stream.
I'm in a cloud. I feel like there's a lot going on here that I'm not even having time to see.
Oh, there's so much happening. We're going to be here for a while, so there'll be enough time to at least sort of get your feel for what the heck is going on here.
Okay, I've circled back to here, or is this a different pond? Oh my gosh, there's so much space. I must have felt like this when I started Breath of the Wild too. Ooh, what's that?
Ostrich?
Big, fluffy burbs.
Big fluffy burbs.
Are they like descendants of the Skylofts? I'm excited about it.
I don't think you'd ever actually... Maybe if you try and take a picture of one, which you can't do yet
Which
because
I
your
can't do
camera's
yet.
not
I don't have a
activated.
camera,
Yep.
or at least
The Purapad will have a camera. It doesn't have a camera yet.
yeah. All I've got. Oh, I've got the picture she took. That's nice.
Yep.
Features not available yet.
Yep.
Oh. Ooh. It has a pointy stick. My preferred pointy sticks. Everyone in my household has played Breath of the Wild, and all of us have different styles, and it's really kind of amazing to have a game where you can all have different, equally valid styles.
Yeah. It's... For me in this game, it's turned entirely into who am I fighting as to what I like to use. For the most part, I'm a spear player because I think it works the best.
That's how I feel too.
Except if I'm fighting a Lionel. In that case, I'm sword and shield because, good lord, I need it.
Yeah, actually, what I tend to do when I'm fighting a Lionel is I freeze it and then I smack it with the biggest two-hander I have.
That's a good shout. That works great except for the, like... this is pretty late in the game, so chat, if you played this, the Floating Coliseum. I'll just leave, if you know, you know.
Goodness.
It's not a fun time. I got so... The first one, it was okay. The second one, I was a bit freaked out. The third one, it took a bunch of tries. A fourth one showed up. You finally beat it, and the fifth one showed up, and I laughed.
Yeah, I think I remember hearing my housemate saying something like that when he was starting to play this.
It was so mean. I was just underprepared, because, there's one bonus, not super cool twist, that makes that super hard. But that's a mechanic that'll show up later.
Ooh. Look at how they walk, too.
Uh-huh.
That very sort of extend and contract motion, like the legs of the divine beasts, which made no sense for the divine beasts, by the way. Like the camel legs, wild, just wild. But yeah, how many first-time visitors does that construct get? Well, 2 in the last couple of days.
Fair.
Betting it's a banner year. Yeah, I loved the camel too, but like, what?
Look, just because it's silly doesn't make it not peak character design.
Yes.
Also, time for my favorite character introduction in the whole first part of this game.
I figured out how they fight. Oops, I died.
Oops. Well.
Okay, stream's over.
Good try, good try.
So I'm thinking a lot about those circles that kind of ripple on water pattern. And like, I'm very interested that the way that they have for you to go between layers here. Oops.
How so?
The way that they have for you to go between layers here is by jumping into ponds.
Oh yeah.
And you get the rain that comes down from that. And then the circles that you see like on the loading screen and on the bottom here, like that's the same pattern. I wonder if that was what they were going for, because that is a very Japanese sort of aesthetic, and you can see that in the design of the sand in this area. Like this is a very like Japanese tended rock garden style.
Yes. With all this raked grass or raked sand into this specific wavy pattern.
Dead construct here. Bird. Huh?
Bird.
Oh, I missed the weapon. It's a rusty broadsword. Probably slightly better than my stick.
Yep. It also, right, the water droplet effect
and that's a
seems
hecking
to...
Sephiroth.
Yeah, it is. I missed that on my own playthrough, but you're right, that is fully just the Sephiroth.
Well, they do love using symbols from Western religion as just general mystical shit, I gotta say. They love using crosses and Stars of David and the Sephiroth.
At least back to like the early 90s, we see like JRPGs all over the place steal esoterica of any religious tradition you feel like, because they look kind of really cool. I'm not even gonna pretend.
Yeah, the other thing actually that I found out, if you watch Chiranje Zhao's YouTube channel, they have a video on Ultraman,
that door will
actually,
open only to those
and
with
the history of Christian
power.
Symbolism coming into Japanese art through that.
I did not intend to stop.
Because the creator of Ultraman was Christian,
it was I
one
that
of the
spoke
few
to
Christian
you earlier.
Japanese folk.
That arm originally belonged to me.
Whoa, hello.
Hello. His title...
Baru the Furry! Oh man!
The source of the right arm. My favorite character title.
Me for appearing to you in this manner.
Not,
I no
any of his actual things. He's just the guy who gave you his right arm.
In any case, that arm should allow you to open this door. It seems to have lost the power to
Look
do
how
so.
much hair he has.
I
want to
know,
pet
right?
it.
You might be able to restore it, but you would need to enter a
Raru is
place
also
filled
the
with
name of the
sacred
time
light.
sage in Ocarina of Time,
Yeah, I
which is
thought
a
I had
very good
heard it
show.
before.
Of
Yep.
course. Why not visit the shrines on this island? The shrines. Yes, I'm sure they are the key.
So the Zonai were furry dragon people. I
Correct.
dig it. I dig it.
Yep. Just an incred. They're furry dragon people who came from the sky 15,000 years ago.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
Right. This is long enough that I'm probably going to take some damage. Oh, not quite. Uh-oh. It's a sucker with a bow. Should probably
Yep.
take care of that.
I mean, I think you want to bow for yourself, and
I mean,
he's not going to give it to
I
you for
think that I
free.
do. Ooh. So
Also, this guy just has extremely bad aim, and there's like 15 arrows littered around here.
sweet.
Yeah. Now, the fact that the bows are still functional, but the broadswords have all rusted, does make me
it's
wonder
a
what the
wooden
preservation
bow.
conditions are.
Although, like, there are plenty of trees. They could have a restoration function, essentially, where they carve new bows.
I'm more worried about the bowstrings.
Fact. Although, what are they using for bowstrings?
Great question. Couldn't tell you.
Because it looks woven.
Yeah, I'd assume it's a woven waxed string.
Yeah.
So either some sort of flax
So
fiber or something similar.
yeah. So it's not like they're using gut. So they could well be growing like it is. I've gotten turned around. Where was I going?
Up the top of the hill.
Okay. There. Got it.
In which we're gonna get, Joe, they looked at Breath of the Wild's powers and were like, "Yeah, we can do better."
Hey, I know what these are.
Yup.
Oh. Hey, look, evidence that this hill was shaped and then recovered. It's
Yep.
entirely carved. There's a flat surface up there.
Yeah.
That is a strange construction technique.
Isn't it super just wild? To some extent, I think that has to be chalked up to this game doesn't have the best rocks. But there still is a lot of implication here that this is all very, like, massive stone boulders that have been fused into place.
And by the look of it, other things done to them in this shrine.
Yep.
Look at those dragon... Oh, and that is gold inlaid.
Mm-hmm.
Not just pigment, but metallic gold.
Yeah, I think it's not clear that in all of them that they are, but in this one, in the shrines, it's clearly gold leaf.
Yeah, and honestly, that stone looks like marble to me. Look at its coloring.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where are they getting marble?
Certainly not from the Sky Island.
No.
But turns out, right, they have huge mining operations all over the place. which the game says it's mostly for our fictional Guffernock. But you know, we could assume that they're getting ordinary useful stones as well.
Hi, Rauru. Yeah, you told me to come here. You personally? That's a little intimidating. Although Ganondorf did say Rauru put his trust in us, so, or possibly just me.
Yep. And how you just get Ultra Hand?
Ultra Hand's a funny name. I did hear that, it's the name of an old Nintendo item?
Yes. Yep. It's like same era as Virtual Boy, or yeah, as that like terrible VR headset.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not even the Power Glove. It's like a predecessor version of the Nintendo Power Glove.
That is...
It's yep, or an alternate name for the Power Glove. I don't remember. It's somewhere in that same aesthetic and time.
I gotta say, I love Power Gloves. They're so useless, but I love them so much.
Look, in terms of like a good artifact for just games industry be like that sometimes, it's hard to get a lot better. Sounds like the Zona might have been colonizing and extracting resources from Hyrule. Definitely some resource extraction and resource utilization, but this isn't even really a spoiler. This is just it's something on the mural and that the game confirms to be true. Rauru is the first king of Hyrule, so and his wife is Hylian. So it's more like dynastic intermarriage, followed by a period of rapid pseudo-industrialization, rather than just outright, like, settler colonialism.
Sorry, I've gotten distracted by architecture again.
That's understandable. The architecture in this rules.
We've got these curated ripple patterns and the gravel, and then
And
the
the
dragon
scale patterns up
scales
top,
and the
yeah.
ripples in the skylights, and I love it. I love it so much.
Yeah, it's super duper good. And the metal has all been worked, right, stamped in the exact same thing, and then with like a stone overlay on it for some reason.
And so that was to teach you how to use it like magnesis, and this is to teach you that you can use it better than magnesis.
Exactly. But this makes Magnesis look like chump change.
I do not know what is happening, but it's cool.
Yep.
Oops. I guess I missed. Why did you rotate? Stick. Oh, I have to hit A.
Yep.
Alright.
And now when you pick it up, it just moves both things.
Eventually I will figure out which.
Don't
Oh,
worry,
that's so cool.
It's so good.
It was really pretty intuitive. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
way
Right.
more than I would expect for such a complicated mechanic.
Right. For a mechanic that has rotation and movement on 3 axes, and the ability to attach anything to anything else. Almost. The fact that it just kinda works is pretty incredible. I know, right? On Twitter, I was right when this game came out, and they were showing some of the stuff from uh various shrines, and we're just like, how? Literally, how does this whole thing not just like shiver itself to pieces and fly into oblivion?
Yeah,
Because
like,
that's what game engines do when things run into each other, right?
yeah.
But no, it just works.
I wanna get up there.
You could probably theoretically do it after you get the next shrine power. The only
Thanks
real
for
grabs
coming,
that have
Bahamut.
Link. Yep, good to see you, my friend. But yeah, the only real grab is to have Link attaching to something rather than just wiggle the right stick until it explodes. Because that was what they did, is they were like, oh yeah, the obvious thing of you just kind of shake it until it comes loose. Which again, super intuitive. Also super annoying when you have to actually be like delicate about something.
So these statues, then, these figures are Rauru and his wife, the Hylian?
That is correct.
Interesting.
And yeah, apparently Rauru personally constructed all of these shrines. Which makes me think he was kind of a jerk sometimes, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, so we have the same construction here, this sort of inverted pyramid
Yeah,
in the shrines. Does that make Zelda part dragon? I believe it does.
I
Um,
think it does too.
I don't know for sure how this game is going to deal with it, but in Skyward Sword they make a point of saying that Zelda is literally the goddess reborn, the goddess Hylia.
Yes. Yep.
And so when they say the blood of the gods, I always assumed they meant that. But I don't know.
In this iteration, I don't know. Because this is where I think a lot of the questioning how canon all the other canon games actually are, I think is helpful, because there's, no way to reconcile, oh yeah, Skyward Sword is the start of everything, it's the creation of the Master Sword, and all of this stuff, and yada yada yada, with the sort of time scale and society that they're coming here. But it pretty much, this basically confirms timeline was fake. Timeline was always fake.
Oops.
But at least elements of it are real in that, Master Sword makes fee sounds.
Yeah. So, legend is correct.
Exactly. Some part of that is real. There is a computer inside the Master Sword, and it maybe has pointless probability calculations.
And it maybe does interpretive dance.
Exactly.
Damn it, I keep hitting the wrong button. I don't know why. Alright, so there's one other shrine.
Yep,
There's probably another one. I'm pretty sure I saw another one.
there is another one. It is way up on the top of the mountain.
There we go. That looks like it. Alright. The springs are taken directly from Skyward Sword. Yeah, the sort of division of the three types of area and associated deity.
Right, Jokista, that's the weird thing, right? So yes, within the context of this game, there is at least some implication that all the other games at least kind of exist, because there's all the Easter egg,
All those names of places.
all the names of places, and then all the Easter egg armor sets. That are just references to all the other games. But at the same time, right, they are not thousands of year old legends that have been passed down through generations. Skyward Sword is a game that came out a decade ago.
Right.
Right, Twilight Princess came out in 2005. Like, these are not ancient legends, these are things
That we
where
can
you
go
can
and-
still
Yeah.
go play them and that we have lots of details about. And that's one of the things that always is super fascinating to me about sort of history and franchising in, like, gaming histories, is because there is always this tension of, like, in-game time, which is often extremely deep and extremely old, and player time, which is often very much the opposite of that, right? Often measured in a handful of years. And so yeah, handling legendary drift, but also like historical nuance and subjectivity in a game where you can just look at the text of another game and it will just give you an answer, is something that's just really tough to deal with, and that often puts a lot of expectations that is difficult to really pin down. I mean, this is something, though, that Zelda has always struggled with, right? What is it? In Wind Waker, the Rito are an evolution of the Zora.
Yeah.
And then this game, or Breath of the Wild was
Well,
like,
it has both.
no. The Rito are too cool to only have them or Best Boy Sidon. We gotta have both of them.
Yeah, I made a point, like, I had to introduce the stream to Sidon. I could not let them
Well,
go
he's
without
he's
seeing.
just too charming.
Ding!
Ding!
Look at this! Look at this! This is
It's
amazing!
so cool, isn't it?
Oh my god! I
Right?
love it.
The idea that even as strong as whatever anti-grav tech is using Kira is not that strong, and so they literally make the like mesh that holds up the world hollow. Fantastic stuff.
What is this? Some kind of construct that is.
Yeah, I think it was a It's a defunctional steward construct, I think.
Yeah, I think so. It's kind of hard to recognize them in their closed up form.
Yeah, and also since all the like turquoise scaling has
Yeah.
either chipped off, eroded, or been covered in mud.
Yeah, this stonework too really does remind me of Maya stonework.
Yeah.
Like all of these pieces that are perfectly shaped to fit together, but not in any particular regular pattern.
Agreed. But this game does do just a little bit of good old Mayan tech. Right, because we've got Maya stonework, but a post-classical Aztec period construct style, and geoglyphs.
Yeah,
We're
the
gonna.
geo like I have seen pictures of some of the geoglyphs, and I was like, what are the Nazca lines doing here?
What are the Nazca lines doing
Oh,
here?
oh, I'm cold. I don't have enough hearts to be cold.
No.
I guess I gotta go for the other one first, huh? Or find some shelter
That'll
peppers.
exactly. The other one's going to be helpful anyway, because that's going to make climbing the mountain significantly less tedious.
Apologies while I spend my time just running around the island. Do I
It's
feel
alright.
guilty at all about destroying these artifacts and these perfectly preserved pots? Actually, yes. This is a constant problem for me in games. Look at this! This is an amazing specimen
True.
of some kind of... Like, it looks like it ought to be stoneware, but I think it's actually pottery. And look at that lip, and not all of them have that lip, and, like, they're just so, like, clearly perfectly designed, inlaid with some kind of pigmentation in a very clear and unworn pattern. And... Yep.
There might be an apple in it, though. There wasn't an apple in it. Darn.
No.
We'll get him next time.
Yeah, it always gets me. I would have such trouble with that in real life. I actually knew somebody who worked on a dig in Romania, and the dig site, like it was a Roman era dig, and the dig site manager was completely new and different type of stonework. This is not something I've seen before. This Tetris tiling. I like it.
It's... yeah.
They were just not actually interested in anything that wasn't flashy, and at one point gave the person that I knew a pot to throw off the mountain because it wasn't useful or interesting. And, like, naturally she could not do that, so she just kind of put it aside, but, like... We actually had a discussion on one of my earlier streams with one of my other guests about the difficulty of squaring gameplay like Zelda and other things like Assassin's Creed, where you're, you know, encouraged to go looting.
Yeah.
And the people who really do go into real-world archaeological digs, and then their attitude towards the artifacts is affected by it.
Yeah, it is.
Slow round.
You know, a very...
Schliemann would be proud of the destruction. You're right, he would. Like, there could have been a flashy necklace in there
There
that I
could
could
have been a
put on my
flashy
cousin
necklace.
wife.
Exactly.
Have I mentioned that I hate Heinrich Schliemann?
Don't worry, we all make... Some of the folks from my community that are here only do it because we make fun of him all the time. Because, yeah, he was, you know, bad at everything relevant.
He was an excellent example of Victorian-era archaeological attitudes. He is right up there with other great showmen like Sir Arthur Evans, who destroyed a bunch of stuff in Crete, and to prove that there was a peaceful empire as a precedent for Victoria's. I wish I were kidding.
Yay. Nope.
And, I don't know, name some other scammy grifters with a colonial mindset.
I mean, insert ex-Harvard expedition in Egypt here.
Yep.
Even when they have a mission of the Egyptian government, that doesn't actually excuse them.
No. And pardon me. There's just flames on the side of my face. Like, I'm having trouble talking about it, but like, there was that amazing Heracles statue that smugglers literally dug the first half of it out of the ground, cut it, sold it to one museum, and then another museum dug the rest of it up and had it on display. So it was in two different museums in different parts of the world, because people are just like this sometimes.
Yep. I might also say shoutouts to the Metropolitan Museum of Art for the badge of dishonor of doing this in the 1980s. Yeah.
Although shout out in a positive way to the Getty for giving the half that they had to the museum that was actually in the territory where it was from.
Hooray.
So, does happen, just not often.
Yeah.
Okay, so how the heck, where am I going? Going that way. I need to cross this big water. Okay. Why don't I just go back here? Can I travel? No.
Nope.
Boo. Don't like it.
Yeah, the start of this does take a bit to give you all the, like, basic quality of life that you would like to have.
Like, I know the plateau in the first one wasn't perfect either, but I did have more of a sense of traversal there. Didn't feel as much like I was gonna fall off.
There is a lot of feeling like you're gonna fall off in the first bit here. And since you don't have the paraglider, because apparently Link just forgot to pack it this morning.
I mean, to be fair, he was planning an expedition underground. He might not have thought that he needed it.
Well, he learned his lesson, didn't he?
Well, at very least, I learned his lesson. Dang it, Link.
Exactly.
Oh, wait. Haha! I have pieces of a bridge. I should actually use my powers.
You should. They're very fun. But yeah, while you are assembling a bridge, I might return to something I brought up earlier, which is that in the questions of like Royal Chronicles and the history side of this game, ancient Tyrolean's rendered in Middle English. Just
oh yeah, you were telling me about that. I am so excited.
So you take these photographs of all of this, and then you take it to the one guy who can translate it, and he just translates it into Middle English, and it's like, wait, hold on, this isn't a translation. This is just like a transcription.
Yeah, that is hilarious. I look
Exactly.
forward to it.
It's so good, and I've actually got the first one pulled up here, because it's like the absolute audacity of Nintendo to just be like, oh yeah, let's just literally use Middle English in our games. And I mean, it's not the best Middle English I've ever seen, but it's not the worst Middle English I've ever seen.
I mean, to be fair, that sounds like kind of a high bar. People use Middle English a lot.
Yeah, but this isn't like ye olde English. No, this is fully like.
Whoa, really? That's
Yeah, no. The first one reads, Quainte meneer de kunges ouder zuster, fale so deep in her boke swish, that she offer yetes to eten.
Oh my god!
Which is, I guess, technically intelligible.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, like I got most of that, I think. Oh hey, it's
right,
Rauru. What up, Rauru?
Yep, just hanging out. But yeah, like, Strange Monaro, the king's elder sister, falls so deep into her books that she often forgets to eat. Close enough, but it's just, like, it's in me worried way, don't know what much he can, but he fair having that he be little avail. It's just fully right on that border of medieval intelligibility.
Yeah, That's really
It's
cool.
fantastic.
But
And
I do
mean,
wish that they had said this is a transcription, not a translation, because that distinction is really important when you're doing actual work on this.
Exactly. But also it's such an inspired choice because, I mean, yeah, this is literally an order of magnitude too young still. Right, Middle English is like 500 to 600 years old. This is supposed to be Hyrulean from dubious thousands years old. But at the same time, it gets the idea across to players just so brilliantly of the idea that, yeah, right, this is a space that is intelligible if you kind of know what you're doing. Um, but also, like, the past, this is so far past that it's just got only the barest hint of resemblance. It's so good.
So I'm just kind of stuck looking at Raoru's clothing.
Isn't it
Like,
just so much?
it's so much. So you have that sort of beaded torque look at the top with the mask and the tassels, and that is all very Mesoamerican. And then you have this sort of central bit here, which the cloth is a style like that sort of overlay is something that Zelda actually wears in her outfits. So like that's still part of the royal Hyrulean garb. And then you have this shawl with the triangle motif that is very neither of those things.
It's Skyward Swordy.
Yeah, yeah.
It's Zelda's shawl / paraglider from Skyward Sword.
And then you have these very sort of Grecian bangles in his hair and on his arms. This is
Yeah.
such an interesting mix. But anyway, so I guess to come back to our poor steward robot greeting people, and how this is probably a banner year for him. I think this kind of says it all.
Exactly. I'm glad that they are acknowledging the fact that that is weird, but we're about to make a lot of robots, Dave. Let me just tell you. Over the next 200 hours, you're going to make a lot of robots have a very good day.
Huh. This is a very patronizing explanation, and yet it's delivered very frankly. One wonders
Yeah.
if they were meant to tutor young children. And yet the vocabulary that they use is not.
Yeah, it could also be a trope Nintendo loves of robots don't understand social grace. Right, because Fi does kind of the same thing, where it's like, okay, you didn't have to be kind of a jerk about it.
Yeah, Fi does over-explain quite a lot, and very little that she says is actually of use. I need to drop a stick. I'm going to drop a branch. Is there something in here? Oh, there's a dead robot.
And there's boxes.
Well, let's see what's in the box. Arrows. I could use some more arrows.
Oh, interesting. Apparently Nintendo is not being unique in this, that there's a visual novel game, that gets sent back in time, that the Japanese version uses 15th century Japanese. The English localization uses Middle English, which, you know, would be correct. It's just not something you actually get to see very often, because there's a lot of, you know, thou hast blah blah blahs, in everything, and much less, well, du haben such and such.
And now I
Uh-huh. No problem. Yeah,
And you're getting on me about puns.
uh-huh. But yeah, the same Hyrulean text also, like, it has, like, little phrases like, Be me fath, which is like, oh, that is just straight out of Chaucer. Okay. Also offers very, very odd thoughts about the relationship of religion to the Zonai. Because the Zonai also still worship Hylia.
Interesting. So wait, now I'm confused.
Exactly.
So Hylia is still a goddess. She's
Yes.
not a Zonai.
Correct.
That is simultaneously good, I'm glad, and what?
True. That being said, it's at least implied that random Hyruleans did view Rauru as like a god king, so like a deified ruler. So
That is probably gonna make more sense later.
you can cast Ultra Hand on that.
Why do you look like a Korok? Is it because you're a Korok? Yes! Excellent.
Some things never change.
I am not, in fact, Hestu. You have not been in touch with your buddies down on the ground. So I found like 70 of them.
Well,
Do
to
the
be
same
fair,
to them.
that's like 10% of them.
I know. But not even. Because there are 900 of them. I love the fact that...
So if you like doing that to Koroks, I also have good news for you.
I don't know what that did for me, but I'm kind of excited about it. Where am I even going? Oh. I guess it would give me a step up if I were paying attention. Maybe that's good.
I mean, Kosek, have you found the two other types of statues in this game? Right, the goddess statue is the least weird of the 3 different statue types I found.
Oh, thank you, Plaskin. Okay, I really want to get to this shrine, but I think then I'm going to have to round us out.
Which makes sense. There's a lot more of Great Sky Island to do yet. And I mean, once we finish all the shrines up here, then you can go meet all the returning cast of characters. And then you can get the paraglider and see some really fun use of Sheik Attack.
That sounds exciting. I'll look
Because
forward to that.
a lot of Sheik Attack in this, or from Breath of the Wild, just kind of stops existing and is hand waved on the idea of they dismantled it.
You look like a Kikui, but you're a Korok with a backpack.
It's a Korok with a backpack. Guess what you can do to the backpack? Guess what amount of crucifixions have been produced by the fan community?
They got a little acorn light. Aw, it's so cute.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just...
You could just drop him off the edge of the world. Nothing's stopping you.
I'm not gonna do that right now. This is about
We're just gonna have him dangled by 2 tiny backpack straps over the edge of the world.
yes.
Yes. Love it. I wholeheartedly support this endeavor.
Bye!
Have a good trip.
Kabonk.
Beautiful.
paraglider, but I guess I have to like make one of these for myself now.
At least if you want to actually like go say hi to him again.
Oh, did that actually like complete the thing?
Just about. And don't worry, West, Zelda did get a chance to, enjoy all of the Zonai artifacts, I promise.
Come back here. So I can actually get some amount without dying. Nope. Nope. I'm just gonna not then. This is for figuring out off screen.
It might be worth just centering that. You don't have to fuse onto the edges.
Oh right, yeah. That
So you could just make that more balanced, and then that should fix your problem.
I'm sure I would have gotten there eventually.
Yeah, that has screwed me over more than once, don't worry. Turns out if you put two rockets on one side of a thing, you just kind of go in circles.
Rockets, huh?
Rockets.
There.
There's so much to say about like the use, reuse, and adaptation of ancient material into this, because yeah, it turns out
Yeah.
it's all over the place. You'll get to see it very soon. Actually, we may get to even see it in this stream, because we have to get across that big giant water.
Jump on it. No, like. Okay. I
Did you
almost
almost-
died again.
Oh wow, that was real close.
Wow.
Wow!
That was exciting.
That was just about perfect.
Okay, so I'm gonna no, stop it. So how do we get across here? What do we got? Oh, we got a robot to fight. With a bat.
Yep.
A thick stick. Goodness.
Don't question it.
Too late.
Chat, if any one of you makes a bad joke here.
Sails. Okay. I really could just play this for hours, which I'm sure I will do.
I
Can't play
guess
all
what
of it
I
on stream, but
exactly. But it's in fact exactly what I have been doing, and it's only slightly been a problem.
okay, I take it the breeze is blowing that way. Good deal.
Yep.
That was much easier than I expected.
It just works. Thank God.
So I haven't had a
Yeah.
chance to look at chat in a bit, but I wanted to say about the the statues being treated as distinct
It's
entities. Um, that's very interesting, and it reminds me a lot of if you've ever read Digger, which is a webcomic by Ursula Vernon, which I highly recommend to everybody read. It's fantastic. One of the characters is actually a statue of Ganesh,
exciting.
and it's not Ganesh; it's a statue of Ganesh.
Yes, that makes perfect sense to me. And I think a similar logic actually is what's going on there, because sometimes statues get hijacked for other entities. Sometimes they talk about like a central statue and then a bunch just like not central statues, and so it does seem like it's like either fragments of or aspects of a multi-partite goddess Helia, which is definitely weird, definitely an elaboration, but also they all do mostly the same set of things,
Wait,
so...
who throws a rock? Whatever. Okay. Well, this seems like a good moment to wrap up the stream for today. Adam,
Sounds good,
thank
as
you
you get
so
access...
much. This has been so much fun.
This game just gives so much to talk about. It is so much fun.
So thank you all of you in chat for coming and watching along. It has been a real pleasure.
Yeah.
I am going to be streaming more of this game the next 2 Fridays. And
Fantastic.
then after that, we have programming through most of the year. Will sometimes be me, sometimes other Sassa folks. I'm sure Adam will be welcome back whenever he wants.
Well, thank you.
I also, if you want to follow me, I have a YouTube channel called Zilla's Athenaeum and a Twitch where I do Archeo Gaming stream under that name as @Zillable, where I do Archeo Gaming. I'm not doing it during the summer, but in August I'm going to be starting streaming Stray Gods once it's out. So.
Oh, heck yes. And yeah, if this is... There's a lot of my folks in chat here, but for anyone watching the VOD or also watching, if you want to follow me, I'm on Twitch here, twitch.tv/Ludohistory. We are also going to be doing Stray Gods when it comes out on August 10th, because who isn't going to be doing that game on August 10th? That is one of the coolest ideas for a game I've ever seen. But yeah, we also do a huge variety of other stuff. I just recently finished up a big dive into World War I games. We're going to be trying to get into the Skull and Bones closed beta at the end of August. And then a lot of Assassin's Creed in my future, as it turns out.
Alright, well, thank you so much, everybody, for coming. I hope you had a great time.
Yeah, thank you all. And again, thank you, Julie, for inviting me.
Lovely to have you.